Assalamu Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, for such a illuminating and really revealing thoughts, especially from Quran. But I just wanted to make one very important reference, which discusses the process to which you have just pointed out, which is in Surah Hashr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, La tastawi al-hasanatu wala as-sayyi'ah, idfa billati hiya ahsan. فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ فَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكُمْ نَزْغٌ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. This is that complete process which has been discussed in Surah Hashr. The way we can come out of this, we are living in a word of duality, Sayyi'ah wa Hasan, and Allah is advising us. But this is, of course, at an individual level, that whenever you come across between the two, idfa billati hiya ahsan, always counter it with good. Don't undo the bad with the bad. Do it with the good. فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ, then this process will conclude in a way that you will see if there is anything between two of these forces, and you will find that they become one and good prevails. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has advised, pointed out, وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا. You can't do it if you do not practice patience. And وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ. And you cannot do it if you do not have a big heart. So patience and a big heart is very important to practice your morality. And then the next part, فَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكَ نَزْغٌ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. That Dr. Zubair has explained already. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah. This is Surah Fussilat, Surah 41. These verses Brother Saqib has mentioned. Jazakallah khair. Any other comment or question about internal enemies? And have you ever thought before about these enemies? They can take us away.
Is that on our part, basically, lack of knowledge of deen, basically, that we struggle in?
What about cultural dilation? Do you think that's an enemy? Like, like a lot of people from Pakistan, they have what I call Pakistani somehow. But maybe that would come under lack of ignorance. How much does that cultural...
Okay, there are two questions, one after the other, and I think they're both linked. Sharif Sahib has asked a question that is it that we never thought about these internal enemies? Is it a lack of knowledge? And Shahid Sahib is saying, could this be our culture and our brought up from the countries we come from, like we all come from, most of us from Pakistan, if not all? I think you have already answered the question. It is the lack of knowledge and our understanding of our religion, the way it is presented. It is presented, I have noticed, I think, for years and years, in a very emotional sort of manner, and it is all about rewards. People just only are counting their rewards, and which is not a bad thing. Rewards are there, alhamdulillah, we trust Allah. And Shahid Sahib, you basically is the same question, similar, and you also answered it, yes, it is a cultural thing. So if it is the cultural thing, so I have not given any tafsir or any fiqh or no, just simple. It's just a simple reminder. So I think all those people who have an access to the mic or member, or who are students of knowledge or ulama, are very few in the world these days. You can only count on your fingers. Most of the people are either reformist or activist or students of knowledge, or just sort of presenting something to the best of their abilities. So I think everybody should encourage people. One of my talks always have 5 or 6 things which I keep on repeating, and one of that is to look at the Quran and our religion on intellectual basis. And I'm not saying leave the emotional basis, but not primarily. Emotions are secondary. And I'm always saying not to be worried about the rewards. That is an incentive, and we are motivated for that. But we need to worship like ahrar. And I always give the example, somebody asked Imam al-Ghazali, and he wrote in Ihya Ulumuddin, he said there are 3 types of worshippers, and we need to be the 3rd type. He said the first type of worshippers are like tujjar. They're like businessmen. They're always counting their rewards. And that's what I feel a lot of people have become. And he said sort of the other type, the second type is like a ghulam. And person is worshipping only because of the fear of hellfire. So he's also missing out on a lot of things, the mahabba and everything. He's just fearful. I just want to pray and just want to, look at what things that they do. He said the 3rd type is ahrar, the free one. The free one means they do good deeds and they trust Allah, they leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think the change of mindset is important. It is not that people are bad. It is not that sort of anything is done intentionally. I think what these points we raise again and again, we have to understand the Quran on an intellectual basis and also have to apply the knowledge on our current circumstances, because we are in a mess. We need to come out of it. It will only happen if we discuss and openly accept and admit where the things have gone wrong, so that we can protect our future generations and children. So that's why these questions and acknowledgement, your questions were also answers, your question was also an answer. So that's why we have this issue. But I'm hopeful, we should remain hopeful, inshallah. Shall we close it? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salam wa rasulih al-kareem. وربنا هب لنا من ازواجنا وذرياتنا قرة اعين واجعلنا للمتقين اماما ربنا ظلمنا انفسنا ولم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الابرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك وتوفنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد اللهم يسرك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا عملا متقبلا. Ya Rabbal Alameen, give us the knowledge which is beneficial, and our deeds which are acceptable to you, and the rizq which is whole halal and acceptable. And give us the knowledge and protect us from the knowledge which is not beneficial. So, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min ilmin la yanfa'u and qalbin la yaksha'u. Ya Allah, protect us from that heart which does not have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And nafsin la tashba'u, and that kind of a nafs or a soul which is greedy and never satisfied. Ya Allah, I ask your protection also from min da'watin la yustajab laha, from that kind of dua we make and you don't accept it. Oh Allah, accept our dua, forgive our sins. And Ya Rabbal Alamin, reward all those people who enable this program to happen, whether it is the masjid or recording or coming. And Ya Allah, reward them tremendously. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun al mursaleen walhamdu rabbil alameen. Bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. See you next Friday, inshallah.